Lesson 10: Conflict Management. First, let us know what is conflict. So, conflict is defined as a clash between individuals arising out of a difference in thought, process, attitude, understanding, interest, requirements, and even sometimes perceptions. So, a conflict results in heated arguments, physical abuses, and definitely loss of peace and harmony. Next is conflict management. Conflict management is the process of limiting the negative aspects of conflict while increasing the positive aspects of conflict. So, conflict management is the practice of being able to identify and handle conflicts sensibly, fairly, and efficiently. So, here are the 5 W's and 1 H that is usually asked in a conflict. First is, who is responsible for it? Second, what is the reason? Third, when did it happen? Fourth, where did it take place? Fifth, why did it happen? And lastly, how did it happen? Here are different types of conflict. So first, person versus person. In a person versus person conflict, the main character's goal is obstructed by another character or multiple characters. So in this conflict, it can result in either an argument or physical confrontation. The next type of conflict is person versus self. So it is a type of conflict that takes place inside a character's mind. So person versus self conflict usually involves the main character's inner struggle with self-doubts, a moral dilemma, or their own nature. The third conflict is person versus society. So person versus society conflict follows the storyline of an individual or a group fighting against injustices within their society, sometimes successful, sometimes not so successful. The fourth type of conflict is person versus nature. It occurs when a character faces resistance from a natural force, and this can mean weather, wilderness, or natural disaster. These conflicts that I've mentioned occurs most of the time in the industry, especially when facing or dealing with guests or even co-workers. Next is conflict management strategies. So according to the Thomas Kilmann conflict mode instrument, there are 5 major styles of conflict management, and these are collaborating, competing, avoiding, accommodating, and compromising. First is collaborating. Cooperating with the other party to understand their worries and articulating your own concerns in order to reach a mutually agreeable solution or a win-win situation. So collaborating is a combination of being assertive and cooperative. These who collaborate attempt to work with others to identify a solution that fully satisfies everyone's concerns. Next is competing. When you emphasize your point of view without considering competing viewpoints, the goal is to win. Hence, this style is highly pushy with a little cooperation. So those who compete are assertive and uncooperative and willing to pursue one's own concerns at another person's expense. Next is avoiding. To minimize conflict by ignoring it, eliminating the parties involved, or avoiding it in another way. So avoiders deliberately ignore or withdraw from a conflict rather than face it. Avoiders do not seem to care about their issue or the issues of others. People who avoid the situation hope the problem will go away, resolve itself without their involvement, or rely on the others to take the responsibility. Next is accommodating. This style is about simply putting the other party's needs before one's own. You allow them to win and get their way. So the accommodating style is the opposite of the competing style, and it resolves the conflict by giving in to the opposing party. You might need to use an accommodating conflict style or attitude when interacting with someone with a strong or abrasive personality. Last is compromising. Attempting to resolve a conflict by identifying a solution that is partially satisfactory to both parties but completely satisfactory to neither. So this strategy aims to find an expedient, mutually acceptable solution that partially satisfies both parties in the conflict while maintaining some assertiveness and cooperativeness. Here are some conflict management skills that we can apply in the workplace. So first is have patience. To be able to hear everyone's point of view, you must have patience and maintain calm assurance while listening intently to the customer. Next is be impartial. means you stand up for what's right in a certain scenario and work out a solution that benefits everyone concerned. Next is understand body language. Your ability to understand and interpret other people's body language can help you pick up on unspoken issues or feeling. Last is be open to discussion. So willingness to talk about your situation and circumstances. Next is negotiation skills. So first, let us know what is negotiation. So negotiation is a dialogue between two or more people or parties with the intention of reaching a beneficial outcome regarding one or more issues born of conflict. So negotiation is a process of give and take, resulting in a compromise where each side makes a concession for the benefit of everyone involved. So negotiation skills. These are inherent qualities that help two or more parties agree to a common logical solution. So importance of good negotiation skills. So good negotiations contribute significantly to business success. Importance of good negotiation skills. Good negotiations contribute significantly to business success. So negotiation skills are valuable to master because they enable you to adapt to the many challenges you face and allow you to prevent any serious problems from arising. A conflict between parties can be prevented when you've settled into an agreement prior to the business implementation. Here are some 10 negotiation skills that I have identified. Communication skill. These enable individuals to understand others and to be understood themselves. So skilled negotiators can change their communication style to meet the listener's needs. By establishing clear communication, you can avoid misunderstandings. Next skill is problem solving. So problem solving, negotiation requires the ability to see the problem and find a solution. Third is active listening, a dynamic process involving certain behaviors which let the other person know you're paying attention and are active to the negotiation. Next is emotional intelligence. Emotions play a role in negotiation, for better or worse, while it's important not to let them get in the way of reaching a mutually. Next is decision making. Decision making is the process of making choices by identifying a decision, gathering information, and assessing alternative resolutions. Using a step-by-step decision-making process can help you make more deliberate, thoughtful decisions by organizing relevant information and defining alternatives. Next is persuasion. Persuasion or influencing, on the other hand, is the process of getting the other side to do what you want them to do. Often, the art of persuasion is called negotiation. Successful negotiators can influence other parties. Your persuasion skills decide whether the other party agrees to your solution. Next is integrative negotiation. It is also sometimes called interest-based bargaining because it asserts that both parties can gain something and create value. Next is assertiveness. It allows you to express your opinions while respecting the other side's perspectives. Next is compromise. Distributive negotiations or compromise are conducted by putting forward a position and making concessions to achieve an agreement. Last is planning. Proper planning before the negotiation ensures you know the long-term consequences of negotiation terms. So planning comes handy during the negotiation process and ensures the successful execution of the decision. So based on the negotiation skills that I have identified, I rate myself with these negotiation skills 7 out of 10 because on my experience in negotiating. I can somehow execute or do these skills well. I always apply those skills when I'm negotiating with someone or other people. So that's all, and thank you.